Welcome back. Happy half birthday to the Reef. This is going to be the 6-month update of everything that's going on. I'll try to give you everything that is relevant or noteworthy, good, bad, and everything that I've learned about the tank along the way. Alrighty, let's get started. So first things first, in case you didn't already know, I got a second-hand 600-gallon Reef. It has a 480-gallon sump. Total volume is roughly about 1,000, maybe a little bit less to be realistic. I got it. I put in hours upon hours of refinishing the plastic on the actual aquarium. Built a canopy from scratch, all that good stuff. I will actually attach a picture here. So I actually found more pictures that were pertinent. As I just went ahead and found the build photos. Even look, see, this is the big tank, and when I got it, brought it home, started to clean it up. That's actually when it started to actually get clean enough. You can see through it, obviously. That's the sump when I brought it home. Nasty. This was me when I was polishing it. I spent 24 hours labor actually redoing the tank. Just polish, just a polisher with a buffer alone, 24 hours. Slowly got it together. This is actually me sitting inside the tank doing the aquascape. Me building everything here from scratch, slapping up a plywood on top, bolting everything in myself, and then migrated all the old stuff that was just sitting in bins and sitting in holding tanks. And this is what we had within 48 hours of water being in the tank. I mean, I went kind of crazy and I just threw everything in. I had such a good response with the fish. I threw in some tester corals and everything went really good, so I just kept pushing forward. I had basically upwards of 800 to 1,000 pounds of live rock easily, and that's just a number I pull out of my head. But I mean, I had totes and totes and totes of live rock that had been cycling for weeks upon months. I was prepared. Here you can see the canopy that me and my dad built from scratch. And back to today. So this is what's going on with the tank. Is everything's doing killer. I just keep pushing forward just because everything's just doing incredible. There's a picture of the frag tank. I'll say that for another video maybe, but this actually brings me to the bad of the tank, which is what you can see here, and it's the red bugs. I've been monitoring these things pretty closely. I've been able to actually see them appear, to them slowly multiply, to them slowly multiplying on multiple colonies. So that's basically the next step, is for me to address it. I've started with pipefish and things like that, but it's just I think it's half measures. I've been talking to a lot of people about interceptor, and I think that's the next step.
This is about 6 months in. You can look through my previous videos, or if you've been following along, I mean, this thing has been filling in pretty good. I have added some stuff here and there, just a lot of tester corals, and then I went crazy and got a lot of tester acros, but everything in here besides those torches and the acros, and then now the clamp, are all new stuff. Everything else is old stuff. My buddy that was in the hobby for 5 or 6 years, or even longer, that he's had that clam 5 or 6 years. He's had that clam forever, and when he got out, he actually ended up giving it to me. And I'm super crazy about taking care of my tanks and make sure everything's good and this and that. I did a lot of research on clams, and I tried to make sure that it had a better home, better than me, to be honest with you, because I wasn't think I was going to give it adequate care. But everybody just said, just give it a try, just trust in yourself. And here we are, 2-3 months later. I think I've had it, I'd say 2 months, and it's just been happy, and it's actually one of my favorite things in the tank now. I love going and looking at it and watching it interact with the light and the flow and all that good stuff. Yeah, so this is the right side of the aquarium. Uh, Over here, I actually went for kind of a lower flow overall. I know it doesn't really look like with the torches, but I actually only have the two MP60s on this side and just three turn pumps on the side, coming from the top there, and that's it. I tried to actually have less flow on the side so that way that you feel you would get beat up less. Um, it's a 30-inch deep tank, so I have that on my side as far as the water movement overall, but the other side I have three MP60s, and I'm possibly going to add another fourth one, just because the the colonies once they grow in, especially the SPS, they're going to have a hard time getting flow through them properly. So I just want to stay ahead of it and make sure that I have proper flow for these massive corals. I mean, I'm sure you can see that uh, sour apple bird's nest over there on the right. That coral is probably around, I'd say, 16 inches across, like legitimately. So, and we're just at the 6 month mark, so I can't imagine what we're going to be in another year or two. Like I said, this is the right side. This right side I actually designed to be the most eye appealing for people that don't like aquariums. So you can see all the SPS in the back. People generally like the flowy stuff. People generally like the clownfish. So first thing you see when you come in here is the clownfish hosting that elegance coral. I have the Xenia, I have the Euphilia. I have a lot of the softer corals over here, the leathers and stuff like that. I have the bounce mushrooms over here. Those are just a really unique color and kind of different looking. The skull over here. This is more the just approachable side. You come over here and you say, "Wow, this is a cool fish tank" or whatever, But it's just anyone can enjoy this side, whereas the other side is more, the harder to keep corals and the corals that I want to see. So on this side, the only thing that I have actually added that you'd be able to see are these wild colonies right here. There's 1, 2, 3 right here. There's a millie, a tenuous, and a pink millie. I just glued those in 4 days ago, but everything else is old stuff that I've had for a while. I pretty much went into this tank day one. All the Euphilia frags, except for the big one, all the frags I bought as wild. Try to save some money. Bought them all as wild, imported from Indo because they're back open again. And I didn't lose a single one, so that's really cool. I still have all those, and they look like they've grown a lot. Some of those little torches were tiny when they came in, and they're upwards of 5-6 inches, I'd say, which is pretty great. Some of the healthiest torches I think I've ever had, honestly.
All right, here we are on the front right side of the aquarium. It's just that same view, just a different angle of the same view we're looking at. You can see the torches, see the elegance, see the Xenia, see all that good stuff. That bird's nest in the back, you can see how, again, it's a very large coral, and there's everything's just kind of filling in really good. That leather up front, the green toadstool, I believe it's called, is just gigantic. See, I'm pointing at the elegance right now, but I'm talking about the one on the left right now. That has easily tripled, quadrupled in size over the past 2 years. It's something that's been very hardy for me. Love leathers, can't go wrong. You'll have your whole tank crash and all your leathers just will be kicking the next morning. They're usually pretty tough. The other one is that big purple one on the top left, that purple stylo that survived the crash too. Over here, this side of the aquarium though is actually probably this is probably my least favorite out of the 4 panes. I would consider 4 panes, if you divided the front into 2 panes. This is the one I look at probably the least, but it's still a beautiful view. Down there on the right in the middle is that pastel rainbow chalice, which is actually one of my favorite corals, but I haven't found a place for it. I want it to have a proper home, but it has just been sitting there. So now we can start progressing to the rest of the tank. I will say that I'm very surprised myself at how well this tank is doing. I have to attribute it to the water changes. I stick to a pretty good 10 to 20% weekly water changes. I'm really strict about getting silicates out. I'm really strict about getting chloramines out of my water. Um, it's a big thing for me. It's a very big thing. So here's the left center display view. This is probably where I spend a good chunk of my time. If I come look at the aquarium really quickly, this would be the view I look at. Everything from this view, I can see what's going on. And you can actually see how large that clam is. It is always doing something. I'm always kind of checking it out. But as far as it goes, I'll come and look at these acropora quickly. I'll look at the fish. And I'll go about my day. I do work a lot, so I just want to make sure that the tank is good. This is the view that I look at. I love everything about this view, starting from the chalice in the sand bed, the blastos to the left, those fat ones I've had for years. They're actually bouncing on me. Very cool thing. The affiliate kind of tucked away in the rock. I finally got some good placements on those. That rainbow pectina on the left in the middle is actually probably one of my favorite all-time corals. All the acropora are just growing in. It's already looking like a little acroforest up top. So the other thing about this view that I really like is the fish. This is actually where they get fed. So if I come over here and I plant myself for more than 10 seconds, pretty much every fish in the entire aquarium usually comes over here, and it's just their natural resting spot or natural spot where I interact with the fish. So this is the spot where I'll come and hang out with. And even when I feel like I'm not in the room, they're still hanging out majority on this side of the tank. I don't know if that female clown on the other side is just so mean she shoves everybody back over here, or they just hang out over here. But hey, check out that rabbitfish munching on my chalice right now, and right behind him is probably some tangs. That's why I tell people fish munch on corals all the time, but you got to keep them healthy enough that they'll heal. There are copper bands and there are angelfish that'll actually decimate a coral. When they start getting unhealthy or when something happens, or if they just get an appetite for it. But in my tank, from my experience, I have fish freaking munch on everything all the time. Even if I keep them fat and well fed, it's the rabbits, the tangs, it's whatever. That's just something from my experience that other people tell me I'm crazy about or crazy to deal with. Okay, final view. This is the back left corner. This is basically where, if I'm going to hang out with the aquarium for long term, I'm probably going to be sitting in this back left. I set this up for myself. It's kind of a not so pretty view compared to the other side, but what I've done is I've actually just loaded this thing up with little acro frags all at the top there. I've loaded it up with different colors of hammers. I have my frag rack on the side so I can keep an eye on all the new stuff if I brought anything new. I glued that little graft, or I didn't glue, I just left that grafted Monty alone on the frag rack on the left side, and it's just decided to grow, and I decided to leave it there because I like it, and if I want to move it, I can, but it looks great right there, so, it's just, this side's kind of a mess, but it's just, it's my side, it's, all kinds of corals are everywhere already on the side, and, I'm mostly concerned about the top up here, which are all the acros, you can see on the bottom right, there's a little white snaky guy on the rockwork. That's actually one of the pipefish. I did drop 10 of those in. They actually are natural predators of the red bugs on the acros, but I'll be honest with you, I don't think they're actually going to eradicate them. So I've been talking with a couple of friends, and I am leaning towards doing the interceptor. I've had friends do it with good results. I've had friends do it with clams. I do it, friends do it with snails and stuff like that. So yeah, hopefully it's just going to affect the red bugs, maybe some inverts like crabs and stuff like that. I'll be honest, that Melanaris wrasse that's going on the screen on the right side right now, that green wrasse, he's basically eating all my shrimp and crabs and stuff anyway, so it's not really that big of a deal. I'm just concerned about the snails. If I nuke my tank with thousands of snails dying, it just doesn't seem like the right thing to do, but I don't know. At the same time, my acros are healthy right now, and I'm not losing a single one because the red bugs are not that bad. But what if the red bugs get bad and then it's too late? I know friends that lose corals to red bugs, and it's just I'd rather be ahead of it than behind it. I don't know. So yeah, here's the tank. This is the last view. I was just giving you a walk around. So thanks for checking out the tank. This is where we're at. 6 months. I'm really happy with where I'm at. I'm actually surprised and really excited of where I'm going. Here's a top-down video of that same tank under the blues. I don't like to show the blues only. It just looks unrealistic. But this is what it looks like. The colors are coming in really good. I'm just really, really thankful and surprised at the same time. Basically every single thing I've glued down is growed. And that's just had to keep throwing in testers and testers and testers, but they keep growing on me. So, I've had no reason not to keep rolling on the throttle. Basically, I've had just such good results with everything. Anyways, thanks for following along. I will be trying to post more of these up. We'll see. I always say that, but please subscribe, please like, all that good stuff. It helps, I think. Yeah. So one last look at the reef under the blues. This is just the candy view. Absolutely, just ridiculous. The colors that the blues. Unbelievable, unbelievable. Thanks for following along. See you next time. This is Andrew signing off. Sin City Corals. Peace.